So let's say you just unloaded the HDT Autopilot tools and want to put it to good use. The first thing you want to do is open the script. In this case, I have it here in my folder. Now we could execute the script directly, but let me show you real quick a trick to add a button to the user interface. We click with the right button in any area of the interface, and this menu opens. We click New to add a new toolbar. In this case, I'm going to dock it in my left side where I have my Havoc tools. Now we close this, select all this script and drag it to the new toolbar. Now we can customize the appearance of this new button. I'm going to look for the systems script. It's a nice approximation of what we're going to find in these tools. So we click our new button and this menu appears. Now the best way to demonstrate how all of this works is to import a new hair mesh. Let's find out some hair that it's appropriate for rigging. Yes, this one will do. So we import hair 11. We don't want to import the skeleton, and for this test we're not going to import the skin modifier. Okay, the bones are not rigged in this mesh, so we're going to manually position the mesh in our mannequin. This is not the best or the most orthodox method, but for this time it will be okay. It will work just as fine. You can see the hair is clipping my head rigid body, but it doesn't. It's okay. It doesn't matter as long as it doesn't clip with the actual geometry. So we freeze our hair mesh and we're ready to add the bones. Nothing special here. We'll just add a bone hierarchy. I'm guessing 4 bones will be okay for this one. 1 keyframed and 3 debris. So let's go with the front, with the side bones, sorry. In this case I'm going to add 3 bones. Now we select, I click shift and drag the bones, so I make a copy, mirror it. I'm going to copy the X coordinate, paste it, and remove the negative value. Now we have our bone hierarchy. It's all good. We're going to take a look at the first of our HDT tools. We select the hierarchy, double clicking the parent bone, and this tool appears. First of all, it's very important you name your hierarchies correctly. It will be easier later on. You can add, as you see, custom rigid body data for the rigid body modifier from Havoc. Then add custom vertex colors for having a visual clue of what's going on if you have many rigid bodies in your rig. And finally add custom constraint data. We hit create and there we go. We have a full hierarchy with parented rigid bodies with knob bones and constraints. We continue adding the chains. Now by default the delete max bones afterwards option is clicked. Usually you want to keep this that way, but since the constraint parent space alignment isn't working yet, you may want to keep the original bones so you can align the constraint space to the original bones, to the max bones. As you can see, the constraint space are all defaulted to the knob bone pivot orientation, which is 0, 0, 0. Now, well, we have our chains ready, so we can close this up. But let's say you don't want to have all these rigid bodies with the same data. You can use the bulk constraint editor to change these values. So instead of going one by one and painfully changing the values, you can pretty much edit it there. Since you don't see anything visual to confirm you that the changes have been made, you can sit down in a mini listener that a message has appeared. Same thing with the rigid body editor, it's pretty much the same. Change the parameters from the rigid body modifier. So let's say we want a lower linear velocity and dampings. Also for hair, I find that restitution it's best when kept really high, really close to 1. And you can see the changes have been made. Now we're pretty much done. We could start skinning right now, but first of all you want to parent the knob bones to the head bone first. So now we're ready to skin. So unhide the hair. So we're going to hide these bodies and start skinning. We're adding the bones. We click Ctrl C for selecting the child. And what I'm going to do is start skinning, and we'll fast forward to the moment when the mesh is fully skinned. It's not worth the time watching me skin this. I'm not going to go too far with skinning, just using envelopes and changing some vertex weights, but nothing. I'm not going too crazy really with this. So now that the mesh is skinned, we're ready to run a first configuration. I'm going to skip the process of adding the configuration setup. You can find this information in many places already. So let's see how it looks. Well, the texturing is obviously all fucked up because Max is taking the RGB values as alpha, so it looks horrible. But the ragdoll is looking good, I guess. There's maybe a lot of too much weight on some vertices, and the weights on the ponytail aren't optimum. There's some bad transitions. But now we're ready to export. Let's click the ready add our rigid bodies to export. What this does is change the names of the rigid bodies. Originally you have the name ragdoll underscore and the name of the bone. To export this as a valid XML file for HDT to read, you need to remove this, and that's what the button does. Let's add now the export configuration, adding the skeleton now. This is the original skeleton, the actual bones, not the ragdolls. Adding from head down, since I don't have any other bones in my minimal skeleton. This option is very important because we're having the constraint spaces defaulted to the knob bone pivot alignment. So if you don't click that, the collision meshes will go all wrong. So we have exported the XML and we're ready to export the mesh. Save a copy of the file. So let's export the mesh to Nitscope. We get rid of all the rigid bodies. I control and page down to select all the childs. Get rid of the mannequin. And I think we're ready to export. Set this to 0. Now here I have on the left the original NIF and on the right the newly created one. So I'm going to delete the shading properties, copy the original ones to the new one, add the extra data node, name it, search for the path for the new XML, hair11.xml. Add the new node to the extra list array and save the NIF. I think we're pretty much ready to use it in game. Save it to the folder. Create a backup of the original one in case we fuck up, and move the XML to the hair folder. Here I thought I had the folder opened. It wasn't the case. Change the top level object number to the physics system number, which is this one. Save it, drag it, and we're ready to go. So let's take a look. Let's see how it looks in game. Okay, well, here we are. Let's select the bottom. That's the hair, sorry. Well, it looks pretty much the same as in the preview tool. Let's give it a run. We have some clipping issues I didn't see in 3DS, but otherwise I think it looks pretty decent. The skinning on the ponytail is a bit of a disaster on the top part, but I think it's good for a test run. So feel free to download the script from the available sources. I'm not sure yet where it will be ready to download. And if anyone can figure out the constraint space alignment issue, that would be great. Thanks for watching, and see you in the forums. And see you later.